Hey, how's it going, guys? Benny Childs, founder of the Teach Me to Fish FX Trading Community, and I am back with this week's market forecast for Sunday, August 28th, 2022. All right, gonna start off with my fundamental charts. It's the data that I record each week, and let's just bring our emphasis over to the L column where my pair position bias is. All right, and so this is basically just buyers versus sellers, and who I think will most likely have control for the week. But of course, this is data that we get after the fact, so our charts may not reflect this, but this is just so that we are aware. So the dollar index, we have more sellers. Aussie USD, we have more sellers, or I should say sell positions. Pound USD, we have more buy positions. USD CAD, we have more long positions. Euro USD, we have more short positions. USD JPY, we have more long positions. USD Swiss, we have more short positions. Mexican peso, we have more long positions. NCD, we have more short positions. Bitcoin, we have more long positions. Gold, we have more short positions. Silver, we have more short positions. US oil, we have more long positions. The SPX 500, we have more long positions. The NAS 100, we have more long positions. And the US 30, we have more long positions. All right, let's take a look at the medium and high impact news. All right, for the week, Ozzy is going to start us out with some high impact news. A little over 7 hours from the recording of this video. So we have a lot of medium and high impact news coming out this week. So we should see volatility, and we should be able to get the moves that we are looking for. Okay. If you are an inexperienced trader, please stay out of the market while any of these news events are taking place. All right, with that being said, let's go ahead and jump into our 4-hour chart, starting with the Dixie. And I'm going to do my best, guys, to hurry along so the video is not so long. All right, so we have more short positions for the dollar. We are on this downtrending leg. Why are we on this downtrending leg? Because we had the most recent demand broken here. All right, and this supply is currently being respected. Now, we did have this supply here that was most recently broken. But again, we recently had this demand put in, so it broke through this supply. So from the onset, I'm looking for the dollar index to continue to respect this supply and head down. So that's what I'll be looking for here on the dollar index, is for price to come up into this supply, give me a sell trade confirmation, and begin to take this down. However, if it does not, then we do what we always do, guys, and that is look for this supply to possibly turn into a turncoat or a flip zone, and we can take it up from there, or we will be looking for a 4-hour demand to take it to the upside. Okay. All right, so that's the dollar index. Aussie USD, we have more sell positions here. Most recent price action, we have seen demand taken out. We're kind of sitting inside of demand now. So if this is going to be correct as far as the position, I'm looking for price to come back into this 4 hour for me to take it to the downside. Then of course, guys, like everything else, if the supply is broken, then we can take trades to the upside, either off of a turncoat or a newly formed demand. Okay. All right, pound USD. We have more long positions. All right, so I'm looking for price to come into an unmitigated demand, which is here in the 1.15735 zone. All right. Now we could get a case where price will form newly demand. All right, head up, come back, test the demand, and we can take that long. But again, from the onset, I'm looking for price to make its way down to this unmitigated 4 hour and then take it up from there. Okay. All right, USD CAD. All right, we have more long positions here. Okay. We do see where supply was taken out here. This supply area right here. Okay. That was taken out. All right. So I will want to see price come back into this unmitigated demand. Wait for a long trade entry. Take this to the upside. It is possible for price to come down to any of these unmitigated 4 hour demands, or even this institutional accumulation zone, which does have unmitigated 4 hour demand in it as well. So that is very possible, but again, I'm looking for USD CAD to come into an unmitigated 4 hour demand before taking that to the upside. All right, Euro USD. Okay, the short term, well, I should say there are more long positions here in Euro USD. We did finish out in this unmitigated 4 hour demand, which is also resting inside of this institutional accumulation area. It was actually violated, but it was actually violated, so let me get that off of there. So we are sitting inside of 4 hour demand, so I'm looking for a confirmation, a trade confirmation entry to, or entry confirmation, excuse me, trade entry confirmation to take this to the upside. This 4 hour supply has already been mitigated, so maybe I'll look to be taking profit or partial profit at this unmitigated 4 hour supply, which is sitting inside of institutional distribution. Okay, so we came off of that, so that, yeah, so we'll be looking for that on Euro USD. And my apologies, we have more short positions, so we want to see this. We can still, so that will be a counter, I wouldn't say counter trend, but it will counter the amount of positions that were reported. So we can again still take the trade from here if we do get the trade entry confirmation to take this to the upside. But again, be looking for partial profits here, and maybe to see if we can get in short here or get in short at any of these unmitigated 4 hour supplies. Okay, So everything I just said still stands, but we have to look at it from the standpoint of um, basically a counter trend trade, if you will. Okay, so we do kind of have a short uptrend here because demand has been created, supply has been taken out, but the demand has been respected. So we will continue on that front until demand has been taken out. Okay. All right. USD JPY. There are more long positions reported, or there were more long positions reported. We are currently in an uptrend. Okay. Demand has been created and respected. Excuse me. We kind of had this transitional supply was taken out by this demand here. So let me actually mark that as a demand. So we're kind of sitting in between. I wouldn't say in between because we're sitting in supply, but we have a really close demand here. So we could see price pull back, and then we can take this to the long side. Let me put the arrows on here. All right, so we could see price pull back, and then we can take it to the long side from there. Okay, or we could simply see price come up here, retest this supply again, right, and then take that to the upside. Okay, USD Swiss, we have more short positions reported. Okay, we have more short positions reported. We are currently on an uptrend. We did have this 4-hour demand tapped into and respected from the onset. So I'm looking for price to come up possibly into this unmitigated 4-hour supply, which is sitting in the institutional distribution. Look for my trade entry confirmation and take this to the downside. Okay, and we'll see if price wants to continue to the upside after that. Okay, we'll just be looking for unmitigated demand for price to come in, and we'll be looking for our trade entry confirmations to get in that pair long. But again, from the onset, looking for this pair to come up into 4-hour supply to take this to the downside. All right, USD Mexican Peso. All right, we have more long positions reported. Okay, we currently had the respecting of this 4-hour demand. Okay, we had a lot of buying pressure just before it actually tapped into it, so this is still unmitigated. Okay, we do have a unmitigated demand here, 4-hour demand, because it did take out this short-term or transitional supply. All right, so we may see a case to where price will come back down into this demand, and we can take it to the upside, taking partial profits here, seeing if we get a trade entry confirmation to take it short. All right, we can play that. We can take that play as well. Kind of, I guess, counter data, if you will, counter data. But we are currently on an uptrend. All right, like I said, this demand has this demand down here was respected, demand here was created. All right, and it was respected as well. So we want to see if this demand will be respected for us to take it to the upside to follow the data that we have. Okay, NZD USD. All right, we do have more short positions reported for this pair. So from the onset, I'm looking for we can take this. Well, no, looking for this pair to come up into a unmitigated 4-hour supply, to take this to the downside. Now, keep in mind we are tapping, or we are tapping into a institutional accumulation zone, which does have unmitigated 4-hour demand here as well. So we may see a play coming off of here to take this up into the 4-hour unmitigated 4-hour supply here, to take this in line with the data that was reported. However, if we do get this supply violated, then I'll be looking to again take trades to the upside instead of the downside. Okay. All right. Bitcoin. All right. We have more long positions reported for Bitcoin. All right. So we are looking for price to come into unmitigated demand. So we may see a case where it comes into this unmitigated demand, and then we can take this to the upside, maybe taking partial profits here, right, until a demand is removed. All right. So Bitcoin on the onset, I'm looking for it to come into this unmitigated 4-hour demand to take this to the upside. Now, the thing about Bitcoin, I did a video some weeks ago. I think it was titled "Bitcoin to 12,000." All right, so I do think that Bitcoin will go short. Okay, and even though the data that was reported was saying that there were more long positions, I believe that was just for the interim. I believe that was just for the short term. So maybe this week Bitcoin goes long, or we could be behind the data. Again, when we get the data, it has already been reported several days before. So next week the data could show us that there are more short positions. But as of right now, it's showing that we're at more long positions. So on the onset, I'm looking for unmitigated demand to be respected and to take long positions from there, and just making sure I'm using proper account risk management, because again, I do think Bitcoin would get down to at least 12,000, okay, or somewhere around 12,000. All right. We'll skip Ethereum. Let's go to gold. All right. There were more short positions reported for gold. All right. We do see where we did get a tap into this 4-hour supply, and then it began to come down. We had a 4-hour demand that was removed. All right. So we're looking for this pair to come back up. Let's see. That was removed. Let me see, where should we put? All right. I will put supply here. Okay. Even though you can kind of see where it was wicked into, but because the demand was taken out and price has yet to come back here, I'm going to mark that as unmitigated, since it has yet to come back since the demand has been taken out. I'm going to put that as unmitigated, and I am going to take that one off as mitigated. And looks like I missed this unmitigated 4-hour here. All right, so we'll put that there as well. So we could possibly see gold pull up. All right, because again, we're sitting inside of demand. All right, it has been mitigated, or it was mitigated on Friday. Okay, so we could see that bounce up, maybe just into here and then come down, or we may see it come up into any of these unmitigated 4-hour supplies. Okay. All right, let's go over to silver. All right, we have more short positions reported for silver as well. We did have demand that was broken. Okay. All right, so I would want to, here we can mark this as a turncoat. Okay, I'm just gonna show you something. Stay with me. Where is it? There we go. All right. So we can mark this as a turncoat, but you can see the turncoat is overlapping with that 4-hour unmitigated supply. So more than likely, we may see, price push up into here, which is probably about 25% of that unmitigated 4-hour supply, and it come down. Now, it may go a little further up, but I'm just looking at the fact that if this turncoat demand is respected, right, and it doesn't go past that. But either way, looking for price to come up into any 4-hour supply for us to take it to the downside. All right, U.S. oil, we had more long positions reported. We are currently on an uptrend. We did have a break of this supply here. Okay, it was broken and it came back and tapped into this 4-hour demand. Now it seems to be pushing up. Okay, so what I would want to see is this 4-hour unmitigated supply to be broken. Now, because it has not been mitigated, we may see price react to it and push down a little bit. But ultimately, I want to see this 4-hour unmitigated supply to be broken and maybe used as a turncoat, or we can trade off of a newly formed 4-hour demand before taking this to the upside. And again, looking to take partial profits, at least partial profits, as we get into the other unmitigated 4-hour supplies. Now, looking at this, we do have a 4-hour imbalance, or actually a 4-hour gap here on gold. So, here on oil. So it's very possible, guys, that could go long to fill in the gap. Okay, even though here the initial gap was partially filled in, I would say a little more than 50%, about 50% of the gap. So they may come up to fill the rest of this and maybe tap into this 4-hour supply before heading to the downside. Okay, but again, from the onset, I'm looking to take U.S. oil long. Okay, SPX 500. We have more long positions reported for the SPX 500. So I'm looking for, now overall I am bearish on the SPX 500. I am bearish right now, but as far as our market forecast, I want to see price come down into this unmitigated demand, right, and come up to at least this 4-hour supply, or either this 4-hour supply before it continues to the downside. But I know it's a little, I hope it's not too confusing for you, but overall, based on higher time frame, I'm expecting for this pair to go to the short side. But again, for our market forecast, for our supply and demand, as of right now, looking for it to come into any of these unmitigated 4-hour demands and take this to the upside, at least to this 4-hour supply before it heads back down. Okay, NAS 100. All right, we do have more long positions reported. We are sitting inside of which was an unmitigated 4-hour demand on Friday. So I'll be looking for trade entry confirmations to take this to the upside to any of these unmitigated 4-hour demands before it continues down. So it could trickle up. It could take all week and be in alignment with the data that we have before it continues to the downside as well. Okay. But again, for on the onset, looking for these 4-hour demands to be respected, looking for trade entry confirmation to take this to the upside. All right, US 30, last but certainly not least. I've been having a phenomenal time trading US 30 as far as scalping throughout the day. But for this forecast, we do have more long positions reported. So I'll be looking initially for a trade entry confirmation to take this to the upside, taking partial profit here, as well as possibly taking partial profit here. We do have unmitigated 4-hour here. But again, guys, overall, I am bearish on the indices, but for this weekly forecast, we're gonna take a look at the supply and the demand levels and see what's being respected. All right, we were most recently on a downtrend. All right, we had demand that was taken out, okay, along the way. All right, so now we're sitting inside of this demand. So this is just what we do with supply and demand. When it gets into demand, we're looking for a trade entry confirmation to take it up to at least the next 4-hour unmitigated supply. All right, so that's what I'm looking for. And again, I always tell you guys to take your partial profits, all right, because I do the same thing. Make sure you're taking partial profits as these imbalances are being filled as well, because it may not come up into this 4-hour supply for that week or that day. All right, it could just come here and turn around. So you at least want to be taking partial profits as imbalances being filled and highs and lows are being taken as well. Okay. All right, guys, that is going to be it for this week's market forecast. I hope that it has been educational for you guys and inspiring. Please comment below. Let me know what pairs you'll be looking to trade this week. Also, let me know what you think about the forecast. Do you agree? Do you have the same supply and demand zones listed? Are you analyzing it to be going in the same direction? Just feel free to comment below. If you're not a subscriber, do me the honor and becoming a subscriber. I will continue to push out these market forecasts. I do believe that it is helping the few viewers that I get, but I do believe it's helping you guys when I talk through the market forecast, kind of give you the trade plan that I'm constantly looking for when trading supply and demand. So again, hopefully this has been helpful, and until next time, always remember, if you stay in God, you will stay in control, and happy pip fishing. Bye bye.